Hey, this is Heretic from Kingdom 759, and it's October 24th, 2020. Today I'm going to talk about the Kingdom merger announcement that we received yesterday. I'm going to try to give my opinions as well as translate what FunPlus, King of Avalon, is trying to tell us here. All right, so we're going to start at the top. This whole section right here, along with the question that reads, how would players merge between different kingdoms? Um, Kingdom merging is coming. It's not migration. You're not going to be able to pick another existing kingdom and then go straight to it or merge into it, especially individually. It's going to be your whole kingdom that's moving. All the alliances, all the players um, will go together 100%. And you won't be going to another existing kingdom, and no one will be coming to your kingdom. You'll be going to a brand new kingdom. So it'll be you and everybody else in your current kingdom, along with everybody in another kingdom, or possibly multiple other kingdoms, will all be merging into a brand new kingdom. Okay. So, number two, why is the form of kingdoms merger adopted? Simply, they're just trying to say, why are they doing this? Um, Really, they want more active and balanced kingdoms so that they can make things more competitive and do it in a way that's more controlled rather than just letting each individual player decide where they go, and then trying to track and balance that way, between thousands of players and accounts going to multiple different kingdoms. It became a nightmare when they did it before. So that covers these two things here. Question number three. Under the form of kingdom merger, can each kingdom independently choose the kingdom that they want to merge to? So again, they're just asking, can kingdoms pick where they're going to merge? And the answer is yes and no. The kingdoms will decide. Um, and I don't really think it's going to be individually. Each one of us are going to decide what kingdom we go to. Again, we're going to be given choices. It's not going to be any kingdom. You're not just going to type in, 824 and then merge to that one. That's not how it's going to work for sure. Um, I believe it's going to work the same way that kind of Netherfall works now, where the alliance leaders will pick from several different pairings. Right now, you in Netherfall, the alliance leader picks several different time slots. Same thing. So you're going to be able to pick from, maybe 5 to 10 different pairings, um, and you'll pick your favorite, your next to favorite, and then your third choice, basically, probably something like that. And then when they do all of the math and they bring everything together, that's how they're going to determine where we go. All right. So that's all of that. And then number five is, can all. Oh, I'm sorry. And in here, I'm sorry, I missed number four. So what are the restrictions? So they're not really talking about restrictions here. They're talking about the way that they're going to choose which kingdoms can merge together. They're going to rank us, and this is where they're going to come up with that pairing, that grouping of kingdoms. So they're going to rank them by the number of active players, by the IP, the individual unique IP addresses of the accounts that are associated with the accounts that are locking in. And this in no way can possibly hurt you. This is going to prevent them saying that, oh, Kingdom 12 is really active, when it's, because there's 500 accounts logging in, but it's really just one guy and his 500 farms. Um, this is going to narrow it down to just the a true number of active players. And the second way they're going to do this is they're going to have this comprehensive strength score, which is going to go by your KVK wins and losses for the last 2 years, as well as the power of the top players in the kingdom. By power, I think that's just a poor translation. I'm hoping that it's not the actual power, because then you'll have, two different 5 billion power players, one with 5K stats and the other with 11K. What I think they mean is the power. By power, they mean the actual power and the stats combined into one. And that'll determine the pairing for your kingdom. So, like, if your kingdom, your score is a 92, then you might fall within that 90 to 100 range of kingdoms. I hope that helps. Um, and then right here, they're just saying, when they look at those scores, they're going to come up with the pairings, and then each kingdom is free to choose what other kingdoms they want to merge with. Again, you can choose it, but in the end, they're gonna balance everybody out. So if you're in a pairing with 15 other kingdoms and they all pick to merge, with this one pairing, that's not gonna work. So obviously, they're gonna give us multiple, choices. All right. So question 5: Can all kingdoms be merged? No. Um, the kingdoms that are brand new and they haven't gone through KVK yet, they're not going to be able to merge. So here in this part, they're just giving us a timeline. And this is really what the purpose of this email. The purpose of this email was to give us a taste, because so many people have been asking for migration. They wanted to kind of get out in front of it now, um, and tell us that something is coming, and here's kind of what it's going to look like, to get our feedback, and so that players still have hope for this happening. But I can tell you, looking at this is a long timeline. This isn't anything that's going to happen really, really soon. This part of the merging, the test, what I envision here is they have a small group of kingdoms that they allow to go ahead and merge together, maybe even two different sets of them, and then watch them not over just a week, but over a month or maybe 2 months, to see how that kind of balances out. And then that'll help them kind of tweak the way that they're calculating the, the the scores for each of these kingdoms, so that when they open it up to everybody, that we have a better experience, and they get, in the end, it comes out to what they were talking about. The way that I think that this is going to happen is like I said, like, the alliance, all the alliance leaders on your kingdom will be able to pick from, like, a good, better, best, from a group, with several different pairing choices, and then that'll kind of narrow it down. They'll compare that with the other kingdoms in those pairings and where they want to merge, and then they'll, kind of pick and choose, and look at the total scores of the multiple alliances that are merging, and then we'll have a merge day. At that point, it'll be just like migration, where your relics will be gone completely. Your titles, including any current king, will be wiped out. The history will be gone. Leaderboards will be really interesting, but they'll reset and merge it together or something. I don't know. And when we do finally get to this brand new kingdom, they'll treat it just like they did Dominion, where the alliance leaders will pick a starting point, and we'll go through Path of Conquest, just like we've been doing now. We will. It'll reset the timer for relics. So just like in a brand new kingdom, after a certain number of days, which now I think it's really short, you can start getting relics off of barbs and monsters, and then off the auction house and all of that. Same thing, it'll work just like a new kingdom in that we won't go directly into KVK. We'll most likely work towards a couple different crown events. I think that works really well so that you have kind of a leader. You can build your diplomacy, the character of your individual kingdom. I'm kind of excited by this, honestly, because I think you know, what typically happens is you start off in a kingdom, you play it on it, you have that whole build up to the first crown. There's a ton of activity, and then 2 weeks later you do it again, and then after that is KVK, and at that point the the activity on most kingdoms drops off significantly because the whole goal of becoming, the king of Avalon, um, is kind of settled by then. So usually at that point you don't have a lot of warring alliances. But with this, potentially you might be the top dog on your current kingdom, but once the merge happens, you should have some competition in that. So you'll have to do the same thing, like just if you were starting new, you'll have to use diplomacy. You'll have to motivate your team. People will be motivated to try to get that crown again. I think it should add a lot of excitement back into the game, and excitement for KOA, comes out to be money. So financially, I think it's a pretty smart thing because you start knocking out the number of servers that you're using, kingdoms that you're having to manage. You narrow that down significantly, and you have really active, engaged players on the kingdoms that are there. So I think it's win-win for everybody. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you.